I think a lot of the things that we've had on the show has just been, people talking about diversity because, we are three dads that married, we have kids. And I think, Saz brings a different element with obviously the co-parenting thing, which you and Katie do incredibly well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Katie if you're listening on here. And, also the military background, which, you've hopped around. So I think with the co-parenting thing, how has that been like as far as dynamic? Like, how do you guys work through a lot of those things?
Well, it's different, right? Like we go through. We got some friends that make it easy. So a family that is awesome to us and helps us out if we need it. They can babysit or they can do whatever. But we also do trips together. Like if we do any trips, anything outside of just hanging out at home on the weekends, I'll always invite Katie and she'll always invite me. And nine times out of 10. We are both like, yeah, let's go do it. And we can share a hotel room, we can sleep in different beds or whatever. But super important, I think. Like the kids, the only difference between us and a different family is mom and dad have a different house. So it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely unheard of. Like
it is.
You always hear about like the most horrible of divorces.
Right. Yeah.
That's the examples you always want to use, or the ones that just are, it's like talking to their kids about the other parent or whatever, and you guys just have this awesome co-parenting relationship that I cannot think of another example of anybody in my life that is making it work as well as you.
Yeah, I mean, what did you say to us earlier? Somebody told you guys you're like the most amicable divorce couples.
I mean, it was.
Oh, did you?
But I get amicable.
Yeah.
Amicable. You got it.
I'm not sure about both.
No, that was good, but I do get that a lot. Like, I tell people what our relationship is like, which is, it's just we do stuff together for the kids.
That's good. No, that's good. That's good. And I think for Ashton and Aura, they're blessed to have that dynamic because once again, I mean, things happen, things don't work out, and like you were saying, Dwight, whenever you have this kind of it's almost like trying to one up one another, trying to like win over the kids and all that.
The only people that's affecting is the kid. Yeah. Like, you're not doing anything to the husband or the wife. Like they don't, but I mean, you're just messing up the kids at that point, man.
Right?
Well, then you guys are blessed. Like you live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, we bought a house this year, or I bought a house and she bought a different house, so they're half a mile away, which makes it so much easier.
Yeah, that's great.
And we're less than a mile from the school.
Yeah, I think that's what's amazing too. At least what I've learned and hearing everything is you guys have stayed close. Like your career takes you all over the place.
Yep.
And being able to stay close with your kids and have that close relationship.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Katie.
Yeah.
We got divorced up in Alaska.
Well, you met in Florida, right?
We met in Florida. We got married in Florida. Moved out to Alaska, and then we got divorced. I don't know, a few years after that. But when I got orders down to Phoenix, it was just like, "Hey, will you come with me?" And she agreed to it, and I ended up paying for, not to toot my own horn here, but I paid for her to move, obviously, because she didn't have to, and if I would have left, she would have kept kids.
Yeah.
So that would have been nearly impossible for me personally right now. That would have been extremely emotional and hard to do, but thankfully she agreed, and here we are.
No, that's awesome. Which is awesome. What challenges did you guys face? Like, especially, like, not to like bring up things, but like earlier on, like, what did you guys have to overcome in order to make it really kind of amicable?
It's been for sure. It's been hard, but it also grew. Like right when we got divorced, it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but to just kind of make it work and be okay with being together with the kids has been easy. I mean, it's getting easier too.
It's great. You guys are almost like just friends that hang out.
Yeah, which is cool. Amazing. Cool. Now, do you guys celebrate like holidays together, or do you still have just everything, which is awesome? Oh, wow. I mean, which is unheard of. I mean, obviously we're on the outside looking in, so I think in a lot of cases it's you get this idea from watching shows or hearing these things that are just nasty, and kids obviously being dragged through the mud, which is horrible.
Yeah.
But that's awesome to hear.
Yeah. I think that's what's neat, and that's probably what's not talked about. Is there probably is a lot of relationships that are like that you can make things work. You obviously you guys are putting your kids first.
Yeah.
And there's probably more of that going on than what gets recognized.
You don't hear about it.
And,
What's the message?
and I think that's like what, what parents that are going through this need to understand is you can be separated, but still be together and part of your family's life and do all this as one unit, right? Like, and like you said it, like you just live in different houses. Like,
That's the message to other divorced families. Is like it's all about the kids. Like, okay, at the very least, let them hang out with both of you because that is important.
Yeah.
To that,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Which is great. What was the conversation with the kids initially? Like, how did you bridge that as far as, obviously you and Katie having the differences and then having that divorce? What was that initial conversation?
I don't know that there was one. The initial conversation is obviously what's the schedule. So we do a 2-2-3-2 scheduling, whatever. So basically, we each have every other weekend. So it's either 5 days a week or 2 days a week, so that's the initial thing. It's like, what kind of schedule do we want to set? Is it going to be consistent? Obviously, it has to be. But I mean, other than that, there wasn't really any conversation. Just kind of have.
Did the kids have questions or initial things? I know they were a little bit concerned.
Yeah, they were so young. It didn't. They don't, and they still don't have any questions. It's just like I already said it. Mom and Dad live in different house.
Yeah, sounds like you guys and Beta just seem like this is just normal life.
Yep.
And there's nothing different about this. Like, keeping a family unit together is the most important thing. I think for me, just the thought of it, and a lot of people I've heard from, is just the thought of not being able to see your kids every day is scary. And while you guys have your own time together, you're still down the street.
Right.
I'm sure that's not the same for every family. And like you said, if you would have continued your military career in a different state or city, that could have been totally different. So
yeah, and one of the cool things about a relationship, if I'm having a bad day by myself or she's having a bad day by herself, it's like, hey, quick text, hey, mind if I come here?
yeah,
Every time. Yep. Come on.
Be sure to like and subscribe for more Dad Livin content.